Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about a little project that we're working on at Apptrix I think is really cool and might just tickle your fancy. Hopefully you've tried it out or you've seen it in previous videos and you'll have noticed that in our Getting Started wizard we'd have an AI-based Getting Started helper, an assistant that can create applications based on your description. Let's just have a look at how things are right now. I'll open Apptrix here and you can see the AI assistant is one of those options. So we'll tap that and here there is a text description field. It says just describe the application that you want. It's using the same large language technology that you'll have seen in a number of other products. However, what we've been thinking is there must be an easier way to describe what interface you want, such as a sketch, an image that you've created, or even the back of a napkin. And so I've added this new functionality here. We have the ability to attach another image. So if I tap this attach icon, I could go to my downloads folder here and pick this image that I sketched recently. You could see it has some lines of text here. There's this input field. I've got a little scroll, little help icon that I sketched poorly up there, and an OK button. And that's all that we need to describe what we want the front end of our application to look like. So I'll tap the generate button and it's going to connect to our AI assistant and run all of the complicated processes to understand and design your user interface. And here you can see it's brought up a suggestion of what that might be. It's got the lines, it has the help icon, the OK button, and the enter text. The layout's not perfect, but this is just a work in progress. If we're happy, I could tap this continue button here, and then it will just ask for the name of the project so it can save it. I'll call it Demo 5. And it has loaded that in our iPhone preview. I'll just load that into our desktop window as well. And you can see we can interact with all of these elements just like if we had created it from scratch. It's just given us a helping hand. If I set an icon and the ID, I could deploy this application to any of the platforms supported. But also, if I just turn on developer tools, I could run the application locally. And here you see the same application is loaded. It's just a start, but it's something that I thought was pretty handy. And I thought just to show you how this was added, I'll load a little bit of the source code, not the assistant, but the user interface, and show you how this came together. So just switching to Visual Studio Code here, you can see the AI content function, and that's where the user interface for the input was loaded before. And where previously it was just the text tab, this info label, and a multi-line entry with a generate button, I've added a new tab. In fact, I've added the tabs completely. So we'll just assume, as you can see, this new comment says it's the text tab. Let's go to the image tab. I've made a new canvas image to offer a preview, and I've set the fill mode to contain so that it will always make sure that the image is inside the space available. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a remove button appeared when the image had been loaded. So I create this button, image remove, I declare the variable there, and then set up the button by calling the function, because we want to be able to hide it later from inside its callback. When somebody taps this button that has a delete icon, we'll set the PNG data to have been removed, and then I will reset the image preview and refresh it and hide that image button. That's the delete button set up. I'll just scroll down here and I am going to do the work of loading the image. So here I've created a new border. It's got the icon for attaching on the right hand side. That's the fourth position of the border, top, bottom, left, right. And for the main body of that border, we have this label that says choose an image that shows your app design. You'll see that also there's an outer border here that positions this in the top row, again top, bottom, left, right, and the content, the space underneath it, is the image preview with the delete button that's positioned using a VBox and an HBox to push it up into the top right hand corner. You see how the layout spacers here are used to make sure that the icon, the button, is on the right corner. And the main part here is the button that has the attach icon. When it's tapped, we're showing a new file open dialog. If you've not used this before, do check out the documentation. We use this slightly complex URI read closer so that across all different platforms we have access to the files that the user has picked. It will work across mobile, desktop and all different devices. We check that there's no error, so there was a problem reading, would have returned an error. We check the reader isn't nil if the user had cancelled this. And then we simply read all of the data from that PNG file. We make a new resource. Here I've given it a unique identifier so that if they load a second and a third one, they don't get reused in memory. And then I show the remove button and we refresh the preview so that it is showing the data that the user has just loaded. You can see here that for this file open, I've set the file extension filter to PNG, and then we show that file open when the user has tapped the button. And apart from a little bit more layout code, that's really it. See, we just create a new app tabs, and we return that along with the generate button at the bottom of the screen. Hopefully that's interesting. It's given you some thoughts for your app, and maybe you'll come along and try it out, Apptrix. See if you can use this new image-based UI creation feature. That is everything for today's video. Thanks very much for being here, and do check out some of my other sites. Consider our archive on YouTube, and do also think about supporting me on Patreon. If you would like some of those lovely stickers illustrated, there is a tier just for you. Or you can gain early access to videos, or maybe even more, you could ask for a little bit of involvement in your own projects, or just feed into what we're doing on this channel. If it's holiday time for you, have a great break, and if not, I hope everything's going well, and we'll see you in the next video.